Coming to you now from Lagos, Nigeria, it's Moments Girls Talk. Tonight's guests are Lola Abeni Adeoye, Miss Nigeria USA, and Joy Ikedinma, founder of the Miss Nigeria USA organization. Western groomed Nigerian versus the traditional way of life battle it out in the topic of the day. As they talk about the topic, does a woman belong in the kitchen?
I do not believe that there's one place or another for a woman to stay. I think that there are ways, especially in modern day society, to have them coincide.
Anyone that decides to stay home, whether the mom or the dad, it's still a job. Because if you get a nanny in America, it's like $500 a week.
That's a job.
So that's a job.
I have friends that are guys that if she's not pursuing like a second degree, she's not wife material.
It all starts now.
Welcome back to Moments Nigeria Girls Talk. We're discussing where women belong, whether they belong in the kitchen, whether they belong in other rooms, the third room, the fourth room. It's going to be it's going to be a very interesting topic, especially because both of you live in the U.S. and both of us live here in Nigeria. And I think, in fact, I'm sure that Bolanle and I, we've learned the hard way that our views when we're living abroad don't necessarily apply here in Nigeria. So, regarding the traditional roles of women, do you think that Western society may have watered down the roles and the rights of women? No. I think it's all very relative, and I think that's probably the biggest issue when it comes to gender equality outside of the Western world. I think it really depends. I come from a household. My mom stayed at home with us for 7 years. The first 7 years of my life, my mom was home with us. My mom is a master's degree holder. She holds a master's degree in social work. So I do not believe that there's one place or another for a woman to stay. I think that there are ways, especially in modern day society, to have them coincide. I'm currently a JD MBA student, so I will be working as a full-time attorney at a law firm. And those in the States know that law firms demand a lot of time, energy, and things of that nature, but I also will have a family. I don't intend to trade one off for another. I think the issue is that we're often viewed as, I'm not sure why, as women, we're viewed as, one-channel creatures, that we can't do more than one thing at a time, and that's just not the case. We see it all across, especially Nigeria. Nigerian women, for a fact, are very handy, and I think honestly have so much more talent and potential that sometimes society allows them to show. So women don't belong anywhere they don't want to be. If you have a woman that wants to be at home, wants to be with her children, wants to serve in her household as her primary focus, then that's fine. If you have a woman that wants to work and that's what she wants to do, that's fine. I personally, as an individual, I believe in balance. I would never do one or the other more than I would never say that I'm going to put my career before my family. Yeah, I would never say that. But at the same time, I would never look down on somebody who chose to do the converse if they wanted to stay home with their family. I think family honestly is number one. It's very important. So I just have that take because I know I'm going to be a working professional woman. So my take may be a little controversial in Nigeria.
I'm gonna add a little light to what you said regarding if you want to stay home, if you want to be a stay-home mom. I think anyone that decides to stay home, whether the mom or the dad, it's still a job. Because if you get a nanny in America, it's like $500 a week.
That's a job.
So that's a job. So if I'm gonna stay home to take care of the kids and cook for you and clean up after you, how about you pay me some money or something?
You think a woman that stays at home should be paid?
No, I mean, it's a job. I'm not saying they should be paid, but I'm just saying it's a job.
It is. If somebody can make
a
living off of it,
exactly. Someone can make a living out of it, get nannies. I have friends who are nannies and they make a lot of money. I'm like, how? How are you making money? I'm never making that kind of money, and I'm not even a nanny. I go to work 12 hours a day, and it's like, So I believe women, whatever we choose to do, that doesn't mean we have to stay home or be just cooking or be in the other room or in the next room and all that. But there's this whole comment regarding Buhari stuff is really, really, I think it was a wrong joke. he was trying to be funny. So women, we don't belong in the other rooms. So whatever you want to belong, that's where whatever you want to be, that's what it is.
Okay, so I'm gonna play devil's advocate here, you know, and I think it's interesting because we are shifting towards, specifically for Nigeria, we're in a hard time. Nigeria is still extremely traditional.
Yes.
Extremely.
We have some men who are comfortable with you working outside, but even as you're bringing in home income, they still expect you to be the woman that their mother was. So you're cooking, you're cleaning, you are taking care of the kids.
Cleaning, not everybody expects that.
Not everybody, but the cooking is number one, you know. I want to eat your food.
It's different. You lived in America before. It's different.
It is. Hold on. Let me land. Let me explain to you what I'm saying is that, you know, a lot of marriages are falling apart in Nigeria. We might not have as high divorce rates as in America, but you find that a lot of relationships are not surviving the way our parents' relationships survived. And I'm playing devil's advocate here. Is it because of a lot of women are beginning to shift from being homemakers to becoming, you know, I'm bringing home income, I'm a breadwinner now, and the men can't handle it? Because you also have to recognize that just as how women are beginning to expect, you know, because there are some men who say, I want my wife to work, but at the same time, as women, some of us are still wanting to be the breadwinner and also help with finances, but you still want the man to provide all of your needs.
I don't know about being the breadwinner. You said the woman wants to be the breadwinner. Okay, fine,
not the breadwinner, but as a woman, a lot of women are like, I want to work, I want to do this, I want to do that. But at the same time, you still go out and he pays for all of the meals. So
devil's advocate for sure.
That's what I'm just saying, guys, because the honest truth is we live in Nigeria and a lot of men are still very, very traditional. Is it because of we're shifting away from the traditional settings that we saw with our parents that a lot of marriages are breaking up?
You know, that hurts me because sometimes I see when back home, my husband and I, and when I go to work 9 o'clock, I come back 9 o'clock, so I work in the hospital, and he goes to work 9 to 5. So I'm coming home at 10, 11, and there's no food, and I'm like, oh my God, I feel horrible. Like, what am I gonna do? There's no food, you know. But we'll go out, go eat, or order food.
Yeah.
But I think of my parents. My mom was always home, you know, cooking. There's always food in the house, I'm always at work. If I work 12 hours a day and I'm going to be so tired. The next day, the same thing.
You know, Joy, I'm just going to cut you off because I actually want to hear a little bit more about how this works. Because you're married. You're the only married person here. Are you married?
No.
Okay. Well, when we come back, Joy is going to continue to share with us about the challenges of being a working wife.
I don't know anybody who thinks that way. I don't know anybody. In fact, I have guys, I have friends that are guys that if she's not pursuing like a second degree, she's not wife material.
Welcome back to Moments Nigeria Girls Talk. We're talking about gender roles. Do women belong in the kitchen? Do they belong in another room? Before the break, Joy was telling us a little bit about her experience as a married woman. So can you just give us a story again?
No. Well, I was born in Nigeria, and before I moved to America, and I saw how my mom, you know, treated my dad. She was always home, but she's a designer, so she still makes her clothes, do everything, but she still come home and cook for my dad and take care of us. But I'm looking at me, I'm the opposite, because I'm always at work, and the only time I have free time are like Sundays. So my Sundays I probably like cook a lot of food and put it in the fridge, and he's all excited. There's food in the house, but again, in Nigeria here, I think the men, they're the ones that take care of the wedding part, right? But in America, the women, they're the ones that take care of the wedding. So it's like the wedding,
really?
yeah,
the
planning and also the pay. Because my friend, I was surprised. I was like, oh, they have to bring money to pay for the wedding. I'm like, huh? How? Like I thought it's a guy that's supposed to bring the money. Haiti, but they're American. They're all American, but they're just from Haiti. So I think, wow, like you have to work.
Maybe that's a particular thing with those people.
I mean, I feel like if you're not working, then how are you gonna get the money to sponsor your wedding? You know, you have to work.
Can I just ask a question? Because you were saying that you work 9
a.m. to 9 p.m.
So when you come back, is your husband expecting you to have food waiting for him?
No, he's not.
So he takes care of it.
Oh, sometimes he's not Nigerian. He's white.
What is he?
He's white.
He's Caucasian.
Girl.
He's Caucasian.
Girl, stop.
No, we have to ask.
I'm sorry.
We have to ask because I think
Joy, let me tell you
yes.
something.
Well,
You work 9 o'clock
yes.
to 9 o'clock the next morning. Sometimes magically that food has to be up here when he's at home.
Yeah,
No.
honestly, no.
I come home
no,
sometimes and he cooks.
No disrespect, but it's because you're married to a Caucasian. I don't think that applies here, and I think that even if you're a returnee, so a guy that's Nigerian that's been living abroad,
When he comes back,
by the time he's been here for 2 years, it's usually
there's
2
something
years.
in the water.
Yeah.
It's 2 years. It's that
drink
2 year
with-
period.
My ex
In
told
2
me that.
years, you guys
he said
change.
my ex told me that. He said, you think if I marry you, I'll let you go to work and say someone sama? No, you're not doing that.
No, they don't even
So
mind
they
you
don't-
working.
they don't
The
do that.
interesting thing is with a lot of men here is that they want you to work.
'Cause they want
they
you to
don't mind
contribute.
the fact that you're going to be working 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. or whatever, but there still needs to be food on the table. So I'm just thinking, okay, hypothetically, if I was in your situation, even with what we do for a living, you don't know when you're going to get back home. So how will I have the food ready unless
Sometimes I
I've
don't
cooked
get
it all
home till
on
11
Sunday?
p.m.
So what do you think about what I said, though?
Yeah,
I'm
so
curious
I
about-
think regarding marriages falling apart, I think there's fault on both parties. I'm a Christian, so I do believe in there being certain roles for everybody to fulfill. I mean, as a woman, I do believe that your home is a priority.
Of course.
But I don't think that you should use that to now say as a benchmark, oh, well, you as a man, if a man was to say this, you cannot do the two. I think compromise is the biggest thing that we're lacking in this situation. I personally, I know, because I'm very much ingrained in the Nigerian culture in the States. So, I have all Nigerian friends. Of course, I have non-Nigerian friends, but I'm very heavily into our culture. And I don't know anybody who thinks that way. I don't know anybody. In fact, I have guys, I have friends that are guys that if she's not pursuing a second degree, she's not wife material.
You know, and I just think that it's because they haven't moved here.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I know it's because they haven't moved here.
I don't know what it is. There's something that happens.
Let me tell you something.
I think we just need more compromise here. I think that's what it is, because I think as a man, it should edify you if your wife can go somewhere and hold her own as a woman, hold a conversation, be intelligent, and then go home and cook you one fire egusi soup. Yeah. I think the two they don't have to be separate. And I think the problem is that we just don't believe that they can coincide. Yeah. That's why things are falling apart. I don't think that it's the desire of women for it to fall apart.
But most women overdo it though. They don't have time at home for their family. That's the problem.
Some people overdo it. I will say that.
I just got back from work. You were supposed to cook.
I think that's
stuff
wrong.
like that.
I think everybody has a valid point, but to touch more on the question that you had asked, and I know that you're playing devil's advocate, and obviously you and I see things very differently because we live here now. I honestly do think that it does affect it in certain ways because our parents' generation, a lot of them got together for different reasons. Some of them met each other and they fell in love. A lot of them were introduced to each other. And in those days, you didn't discuss divorce. You were supposed to work it out. And even if, in some cases, some women weren't happy, they stayed because they had children, etc. Because of, modernization or westernization, we've changed our views. So in those situations in these days, what they will do is, oh, well, I'm unhappy, divorce. Oh, he expects too much from me, divorce. Oh, we don't spend as much time trying to work it out.
Michelle, something to think about is the fact that because you weren't working, you didn't have the option of
exactly.
leaving.
There you go. A lot of them
weren't.
Which way you go?
No, a lot of them weren't.
That's actually true. That's actually true.
But to be honest with you, there were a lot of women in our parents' generation who were working. Because when you think about it, how the first Chief Justice of this country, was it a woman?
But Michelle has a very slim. It's a slim majority.
Think about the people that are in. Think about the people that are in their 60s and 70s. There are a lot of women in top-ranking positions.
Okay, that's
they may not necessarily be in government, but they're in top-ranking positions.
Yeah,
clearly, these women went to school.
Yeah.
But they managed to juggle somehow. So I think it's because they were making more of an effort then than we do now.
And if anything, if they were not working like traditional 9 to 5, they had businesses.
Exactly. Yes.
They had some sort of business.
Tailors.
Okay. Well, I don't know.
I like this topic.
I do like this topic, but I'm not gonna lie. Like my perspectives have completely changed.
It is broad.
Because I think I've seen so many people's marriages fail, and like you said, I think a lot of women are doing too much.
Too much. They're doing too much.
I honestly think that's what it is.
You're absolutely right. We're going to continue the conversation shortly. Don't go anywhere.
When I was younger, I went to my sister's room, so I slept there, and I peed in the bed, and so I woke up in the morning, and I just took a glass of water and poured on the bed.
Welcome back to Girls Talk on Moments Nigeria. It's time now for the question of the day, and we're going to find out what our celebrities think. Ooh, and it's applicable to the topic today. Are gender roles still necessary today? If yes, why?
What do you guys think?
To an extent, yes. To an extent, no.
Okay. Why yes, why no?
Yes, I know that's a political answer, but an extent, yes, I think because in today's society, you know, social media, children have access to so much more to mold them than I would say I did or anybody at this table did. So I think, you know, gender roles that I would say are edifying still kind of matter in the sense of, you know, giving guidance to those who want it, who need it. The reason I say no, though, is because as we've been talking about, I think that sometimes gender roles stifle creativity. Like there should never be a point whereby, you know, if you have a wife or, yeah, if you have a wife that is a genius in some regard to something that because of, you know, the way you were raised or because of gender roles of today, you decide that she cannot pursue whatever it is. So I don't think that, you know, hard gender roles, I think it should be soft, as in we can move it around, we can add this,
flexible.
Yes, attract
I
that.
think it also depends on the people that are in a relationship.
Communication and compromise. Communication and compromise.
Definitely. What do you think, Joy?
I think gender role is important. It is because, as I always talk this in my own perspective, but having been like I work 12 hours a day, and having someone telling me I cannot do this because he wants to take over, he wants to take charge. Of course, he's my husband. He could take charge of some certain things, but again, I went to school. My father paid tuition for how many years, so I want to work in that area. So I believe gender roles, like each person or each individual have their own part in life to play. You know, what is good for you might not be good for the other person, and all fingers are not equal. If you can do this, the other person might not be able to do that. So I believe everyone is just gender equality.
If we're going to go by traditional gender roles, the woman is supposed to be the nurturer, the man is supposed to be
the provider.
And a lot of times the man is providing, and maybe the woman also is providing, but the woman wants the man to provide, because you had said before the break that a woman wants to work, but then she also wants a man to take care of her. So is that
like eating your cake and having it?
Yes.
But
is that wrong? Do you think that's wrong?
It's not wrong, because sometimes I know the man will always want to pay for stuff, but sometimes I say, hey, I have a reservation today, let me take you out. You know, you could want to do that once in a while, so they know that.
Like once in a year.
Once in a while. Once in a while.
They still live in the States.
Once in a while, like, you know, I made a reservation, you know, let me take you somewhere, because, you know, you cannot go out. I'll feel somehow if I'm the one bringing out my card and swiping, you know, right away, but like, okay, I mean, you should be paying for it. But if I'm making the reservation, I'm like, okay, I want to take you out today. It's your day or something, you know, I'll take you out and I'll pay for it. So
like
it shouldn't be,
once
in a while. But
like, no, what?
I feel like the guy should be, the one like bringing out the card, you know, most of the time to like pay for stuff.
All right, before we let you guys go, we would like to share a celebrity secret or a throwback picture. We're going to ask for a secret.
It's like we're almost bullying our guests into sharing secrets. We don't want throwbacks. We want secrets.
Secret.
Something that nobody knows about you. You snore in your sleep. You can't sleep.
I'm
with
really
the light.
clumsy. I'm very,
Really?
yeah, like clumsy to the point that like I've tripped into somebody's laptop, cracked the screen. I have scars on parts of my body that, you know, people are like, what happened? I'm like crazy clumsy, and nobody ever guesses it when, you know, I'm on stage for pageants or anything like that.
So
but
how do you manage when you're on stage?
It's God. I promise. There's no.
You've never tripped on stage or anything.
I've tripped in a way. I mean, because since I've done pageants for a long time, I've tripped in a way that nobody can see, but like just flat out fell. Thank God, not to today.
Okay.
But I'm like really clumsy. Like I can fall upstairs, fall downstairs,
fall upstairs.
Yeah, like it's really bad. My mom always talks about it, how it's not ladylike. She was like, I'm not sure you always be falling somewhere, and I'm like, you know, it worked out when I'm on stage. But yeah, that's
hilarious.
Okay.
I remember the secret, so I started crying. Okay, so when I was younger, I went to my sister's room, so I slept there, and I peed in the bed, and so I woke up in the morning, and I just took a glass of water and poured on the bed.
To just hide evidence.
I was like, can I get water? Can I get water? She got water, but oops, the water spilled in the bed.
Oh no!
How old are you?
I think I was like 5 or 6.
Oh, that's
And
alright.
like no,
Cute.
I think
That's
like
cute.
around 8 or so, between that age.
Nobody's cute.
8 or so. I was like, oh my, like, can I get water? Oh my
You
God, I'm
were
choking.
clearly too sharp.
And then
Well,
as a
can I
kid,
get water?
Ask for
but
water
she
and
would know
spill it
because it's
onto
pee,
the-
because it smells. Yeah.
No, I don't
She
think
didn't figure it out?
I don't think she
It's
did.
diluted.
What?
I don't think she did. So I just remember I started crying.
Man, kids are hilarious. That is so cute. I never thought to do that when I used
to wet the bed. We all wet the
When
bed.
I was
Who did it? Who did it?
when I was
Who did it?
How
Oh
do you know?
please!
Ask
I
her.
played so much.
So
You never wet your bed.
Yeah,
ever.
no. I was like a weird child in a way,
You
but I was
never wet your
also
bed?
clumsy. No.
No, I think if you play a lot,
I'm
you wet the
shocked.
bed a lot. That's what it is.
But
Because
no,
I
that's
played
what-
too much.
That's what they used to tell us.
This-
to
yeah.
not-
Because
to
they
make
want you to
us
stop playing.
Joy, that thing is
No,
not true.
it's true.
not true.
Because
It's not
in
true.
my
Why would you stop
dreams,
playing?
no, whenever I pee in the bed, it's like I'm playing. I'm like, oh, okay, wait, let me go pee
No,
in
but
the
that's in the
bathroom.
dream, but that's
like,
normal.
and then I'm
Dream.
peeing. No, it's in the dream, but I'm peeing on the bed.
Yes, that
Because
happens to everybody. You would dream
you
of
will be
something and
dreaming
it's
of-
like you're dreaming of doing something and maybe you're dreaming that you're going to go to the toilet.
Okay,
but
I'm
it's
right
not
back.
coming out.
I go to the
And then you
bathroom.
now wake up.
Yeah.
Like,
But
oh
most
my
children
God.
wet their
Oh
bed.
my God.
Yeah, no, definitely.
We're
I'm
all
not-
bedwetters apart from Lola.
Oh,
we were
yes,
as
she's
children.
I
the
never
only.
said I was a bedwetter.
Bolanle. Bolanle, why don't you deny it? You know, we were about to say it and then you just told me. Let me
I mean,
know.
that was, come on.
Not
that
as adults, of course.
that
but
was back in
when
the
we were
days.
children.
God forbid that does.
Ejected.
that was back in the days.
All right, thank you guys so much for coming.
Thank you.
Good luck
you.
to you.
Thank
on
you.
all of your
Yeah,
projects,
thank you.
know.
Thank you for having us.
It was really good to have your perspective
And well done.
here.
Beauty with a purpose.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like that.
That's us.
Moments was brought to you by Axis Bank W Initiative.